They just lost Gunter, so I don't know how that is gonna survive. But what's it called?
Nice.
But
But,
the Third Reich faction. That's the Imperium's gonna turn to the Third Reich now. But
He posted a picture on Twitter with Sean Dean. He's got his castle. It says justice on it. And then somebody says Hook is some fucking girl says on Twitter, Hook is what? Stokely, I hate your bald ass so much. And then Big Stoke on Twitter goes, wow, Hook will pay for his crimes. It was confirmed that there was a forearm fracture which required a cast. I am distraught. I rolled dice with my left hand, so I'm please don't make me sue this company, Tony Khan. Please, you know that a portrait of your father that's hanging in your office? Well, once I own this company, I'm replacing it with a big ass photo of James Brown. Yep. Every time you see the Godfather of Soul sweating in a drug-fueled rage at the Apollo, you're gonna think of me. Sounds pretty miserable, bro. Do the right thing. Punish this little bastard Hook and write me a fat check. By the way, here's a photo of me with my best friend Al Sharpton. It means absolutely nothing, by the way. Blushing face. But somebody tweeted, he tweeted, Hook is a piece of shit, and then somebody tweeted this. Some woman, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jack. Oh wait, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jacked. 6'3" bro he met until they pulled their first back to beat him up. Whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on. I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy. No, it's just also my birthday. I'm a birthday boy. It somehow always worked. And then Stokely just quote tweets it. Fuck you. Tony Brown, but who the fuck's in the background? It's Hook. It's fucking Hook. And then he's getting twerked on by some fucking broad. My t-shirt money is now in the ass crack of some fucking stripper. So thanks, Hook. But I don't. But Jesus Christ, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Clip it.
Oh, but
actually, hey, it worked out in the long run.
I actually do hope they make another season actually, because I would love to see the American Dragon on Total Bellas start memeing on John Laurinaitis. You have live footage of John Laurinaitis in his living room calling somebody in his underwear saying, "Hey, bud, you fired."
What did Max Caster say about me?
Like I'm embarrassed the fact that I'm hosting a post show for this crap.
I'm proud of you, Carl. I love this.
We did our Valentine's Day post of Hooked on You, but it was mainly for Jamie Hayter and only Jamie Hayter.
It's not right. It's not right. I'm trying to build an account and we get this bullshit on the account. Great. But
also follow a simp account.
Okay. Okay, but here's the thing, because those people, this is networking. This is
we actually
networking.
follow.
You got
it was a business decision.
It's a business. You have to follow these people. This is like following. If you want a stan account, you got to follow the other stans. And when you get big, you get rid of them. You get rid of them after that. It's over with.
I open up our Instagram and the first thing I see is Pro Wrestling Simp, and I'm like, what is this?
I don't look at that. I don't look
at
that
stuff.
It's a business decision because that guy promotes us, and then when we don't need him anymore, we toss him aside. That's what happens.
Yeah, well, we got go so fucking slap it on a t-shirt and continue to use the move forehead.
Unpretty. This guy just say fucking forehead.
Switch. What?
This guy say forehead.
Yes, I did.
You think I fucking wouldn't catch that? You think nobody on this program would catch that? But I did. For weird.
You almost didn't.
For weird.
Let's be honest. You almost didn't.
Weird champ. This is what we resort to here.
All right. Next up.
Unbelievable. Five head.
Next up, we have.
Why people happy? Pagu. Weird champ. Weird. Forehead.
Oh god.
Franker faces.
Oh.
Wowie. Why people sad. What else?
Look at how red my face is.
What else we got? Let me go on Twitch right quick. Okay.
Why?
Why do people happy? XW, LOLW,
Oh,
XQCL.
All right. The Acclaim promo now. We were backstage.
okay.
They're just like, yo, it's not gonna be a triple. It's not gonna be a
No,
normal.
dude, we're gonna do a fatal four-way poggers, bro. Thanks for the fucking
God,
bits.
Fuck, damn it! Jump off a roof.
Well, they just lost Gunther, so I don't know how that is gonna survive. But what's it called? But the Third Reich faction. That's Imperium's gonna turn to the Third Reich now. But
He posted a picture on Twitter with Sean Dean. He's got his castle. It says "Justice" on it. and then somebody says Hook is some fucking girl says on Twitter, Hook is what? Stokely, I hate your ball ass so much. And then Big Stoke on Twitter goes, wow, Hook will pay for his crimes. It was confirmed that there was a forearm fracture which required a cast. I am distraught. I rolled dice with my left hand, so I'm please don't make me sue this company, Tony Khan. Please, you know that a portrait of your father that's hanging in your office? Well, once I own this company, I'm replacing it with a big-ass photo of James Brown. Yep. Every time you see the Godfather of Soul sweating in a drug-fueled rage at the Apollo, you're gonna think of me. Sounds pretty miserable, bro. Do the right thing. Punish this little bastard Hook and write me a fat check. By the way, here's a photo of me with my best friend Al Sharpton. It means absolutely nothing, by the way. Blushing face. But somebody tweeted, he tweeted, Hook is a piece of shit, and then somebody tweeted this. Some woman, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jacked. 6'3" bro he met until they pulled their first back to beat him up. Whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on. I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy. No, it's just also my birthday. I'm a birthday boy. It somehow always worked. And then Stokely just quote tweets it. Fuck you.
Tony Brown, but who the fuck's in the background? It's Hook. It's fucking Hook. And then he's getting twerked on by some fucking broad. My t-shirt money is now in the ass crack of some fucking stripper. So thanks, Hook. But I don't but Jesus Christ, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Clip it. Oh,
but
actually,
hey,
it worked out in the long run.
I actually do hope they make another season actually, because I would love to see the American Dragon on Total Bellas start memeing on John Laurinaitis. You have live footage of John Laurinaitis in his living room calling somebody in his underwear saying, "Hey, bud, you fired."
What did Max Caster say about me?
Like I'm embarrassed the fact that I'm hosting a post show for this crap.
I'm proud of you, Carl. I love this.
We did our Valentine's Day post of Hooked on You, but it was mainly for Jamie Hayter and only Jamie Hayter.
It's not right. It's not right. I'm trying to build an account and we get this bullshit on the account. Great. But
Also follow a simp account.
okay, but here's the thing, because those people, this is networking. This is
We
easy
actually
networking.
follow.
You got
It was a business decision.
it's
to
a
follow
business.
the
It's a business. You
wrestling
have to
simp,
follow these
okay?
people. This is like following. If you want a stan account, you got to follow the other stans. And
I know, but, like,
when you
shit,
get big, you
I-
get rid of them. You
I
get
fu-
rid of them after that. It's over with.
I open up our Instagram and the first thing I see is pro wrestling
I don't
simp,
look
and I'm
at
like,
that.
what is this?
I don't look at that.
It
I don't
was
look
a
at that stuff.
business decision.
It's a business
okay?
decision because that guy promotes us, and then when we don't need him anymore, we toss him aside. That's what happens. This is-
Go by. Yeah, well, Libri got go so fucking slap it on a t-shirt and continue to use the move forehead.
Unpretty.
This guy just said fucking forehead.
It's Wednesday, guys. You know what that means. It is time for your weekly dose of the Pro Wrestling Injection right here on the Pro Wrestling Injection YouTube and Twitch. We hope you all had a very, very happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. I'm here, as always, joined by my illustrious panel of co-hosts. We have Mr. Marathon himself, Mike, and down below the goon, Christian. How was your guys' Christmas break?
good.
Pretty good.
All
Pretty
right.
good. Spent some time with the family and the little cousins. Was a fun time.
All right.
Ravens won. No, sorry about it.
All right. Kicking it down to Christian because he's our news guy. What do you have for us today for us to talk about
right,
for a half an hour?
First off, we got just want to pay mention Brody Lee 3 years ago, yesterday.
Crazy.
Rest in peace. It's crazy that's 3 years already. But besides that, we had kind of a light news week, but what the news we got was pretty big. First off, we have Katsuyori Shibata is officially all elite. He says he wants to retire and end his career in AEW and / Ring of Honor. So, that was completely expected. He probably has been signed already, like months ago, like how Ibushi was, but they just didn't announce it till now, I guess.
Yeah.
But
What was the thing with him having to go back to Japan? Was that a thing? Was that
it
anything,
wasn't
or was
anything.
that just?
It wasn't anything injury related, so it might have been a family thing.
Or
where he had to go
or a
immediately.
visa thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah. It wasn't injury related, so that's all I've heard. But anyway, yeah, Shibata all elite. I mean, that was very obvious that was coming. But the big news out of the Japanese realm, which is there's two pieces of big news. First off, All Japan Pro Wrestling will be working and having a working relationship with the WWE, and primarily with NXT, which was extremely shocking, because you never really see WWE work with outside promotions, especially in other countries. So I guess they want to expand their name into Japan a little bit more because, I mean, obviously WWE isn't really, it's big everywhere, but it's not like maybe like WWE's maybe like the fifth tier company in Japan, besides behind New Japan, Noah, Dragon Gate, and All Japan. So, and especially if they don't really know the main roster that well, they're not going to know NXT that well. So, they're going to be working with All Japan. They're sending Charlie Dempsey to All Japan for a show, which is the son of William Regal. He already was a young lion in New Japan, so this really isn't anything out of the ordinary for him. So that's pretty cool. But the big news to come out of the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling, right before Wrestle Kingdom, is that Takami Obari, the president of New Japan and director, is stepping down from the company, and the new president of New Japan Pro Wrestling and director is Hiroshi Tanahashi, which this was crazy. This was a crazy fucking drop. This came completely out of nowhere. I already knew that Obari's time was limited. I thought he might have had another year left. But it being Tanahashi is very, very cool because obviously he's a fucking worker there. He's been there his entire life. He's the face of that company next to Okada. He knows all the boys. He's done everything in New Japan that you could do. The guy's a celebrity in Japan. He's even gone to Congress, Japanese Parliament, to speak on behalf of Japanese athletics when it came to cheering with crowds during the pandemic. So it's a great pick. He already had his first press conference. He's gonna address the fans at Wrestle Kingdom. So he's gonna be wrestling. He's gonna be wrestling Zack Sabre Jr. on that show. But it's funny how all the locker room guys, the whole roster reacted to this. Like, hey, I pinned the fucking champion in the I pinned the president in the G1. Or I pinned the president, or I beat the shit out of the president, which is gonna continue. He's not done wrestling. So yeah, this was shocking news, and I'm very excited to see where this new era of New Japan goes under Tanahashi, and it's really cool to see how involved active guys are in the business. I mean, obviously Triple H and WWE. You got Bryan Danielson to some extent in AEW. He's not running the company, but to some extent, Bryan Danielson. Rocky Romero is a big liaison when it comes to the American side of New Japan. Scott D'Amore and Impact. I mean, it's very, very cool to see wrestlers get involved later on into their careers. And now Tanahashi joins that, and that is, I'm very excited to see where this goes because if anybody knows New Japan, it's the ace of New Japan. So we'll see where that goes.
I think to kind of tag with the New Japan stuff, should we mention that the Tokyo Dome is in jeopardy of closing down?
Well,
if that report is to be worded correctly.
I mean, Kevin Kelly spoke about it on the Super J Cast, and it's really like it's not really it's not going to be a story until like something happens or if there's a vote, because it's like they're not getting rid of the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
It would just be moved from where it is right now. So it's
which
not
feels
really a
weird
story yet.
Which feels weird to me, to be honest.
Yeah. What's it called? We'll see, but it's not really a thing yet. Next week we'll talk more about Wrestle Kingdom because it will be the couple hours before the show. So anyway, that was really it. There's a lot of Japanese wrestling stuff this year. I mean this week.
And to mention, no pre or post show this Saturday. We will be at that show, so do not expect us to be going live at all, as far as I'm aware. That is a reminder once again.
We probably should post a picture of our predictions, though.
Nah, I don't fucking care. I don't care enough to do all that work, man.
All right, I guess I'll just take screenshots in the chat and show them on the stream next week.
God, no. Shut the fuck up.
I have a title to defend here.
Yeah, a title that I still have in my home. That will never be brought out of this fucking home. Because I'm a grown-ass man and carrying around a title as a grown-ass man is a fucking embarrassment.
I mean, I wouldn't judge.
That says a lot about you, my friend.
That title is rightfully mine at the moment. So.
Okay. All right. So, surprisingly enough, there was a Dynamite tonight. It was the New Year's Smash. It was the last Dynamite of 2023. And it was a good one. It was like, it had a lot of good matches, had a lot of fun moments, a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of new questions now that I have. So let's just jump into it. We kick off tonight with the triple threat match for the Continental Classic between Jay White, Jon Moxley, and Swerve Strickland.
Awesome match.
Yeah, this was an excellent match.
Good fucking match.
Excellent stuff here from these three. I mean, it was really it wasn't really even predictable either. They gave them a lot of time. They gave them about 30 minutes. This was a great match, start to finish. They really sold Moxley's leg. Jay White even attacked it with a chair, but because it's the same leg Jay damaged in their match last week. So they're really selling Mox's leg. They also were selling Swerve's shoulder, which has been damaged throughout the tournament. And Jay was basically trying to fight in amongst the two, between the two, and try to pick his spots. But it came down to Swerve and Moxley in the ring. They went counter for counter, and it came down to Swerve ended up getting dispatched. Moxley and Jay White ended up going at it, and Moxley hit Jay White with the Death Rider, and I believe, yes, he hit Jay White with the Death Rider. Swerve couldn't get in to break it up in time, and Jon Moxley is your winner of the Gold League and the Continental Classic going on to the finals at World's End.
There's one spot that
good match.
I loved. It was during the Bulldog choke. That house call kick that he did to Mox was so snug. That like I have a feeling during the preparation of that match, Mox must have been like, "You fucking kick me in the head. If you don't do it, I'll do it to you." The house call kicks tonight were so snug. They were so beautiful. All right, after that,
We had the Danielson versus Kingston vignette.
yeah, which is like it's just highlighting how Brian has always beat Eddie. Eddie has never defeated Brian at all. And then
and
we
how
go.
He thinks Eddie's a bum.
Yeah, and then we go backstage to now Tony Schiavone with Swerve
baby.
and Prince Nana. And Swerve was like, I don't even get a moment to breathe. I don't even get to take a shower. I don't get a towel. I don't get a water. What?
My arm's basically falling off.
Just what do you want? Well, a guy's been calling me out on Rampage and Collision. Said he wants to fight him. I am him.
We're getting the conclusion.
And then he goes like, well, I have a contract. He said if you're going to be here, because in case he missed you. And there we go. We now are finally getting the conclusion. Swerve Strickland versus Keith Lee at World's End. World's End is a fucking stacked card. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
They did a good job filling this card out.
It is so stacked.
Yes.
After this, we would... what? Sorry, Christian.
I was gonna say Swerve, with that match with Keith Lee, I mean, obviously people are gonna say, "Oh my god, fucking, there's no build."
Have you been watching the past year?
Apparently not.
Have you been watching all
Zach, what kind of a
2023?
question is that? Zach, what kind of a question is that?
yeah,
We know
so-
people who comment don't watch it.
So, all right. But listen, the build, obviously, it's been building since they were a tag team. It's just they never got this match done.
They teased it a couple months back with that tag match where
yeah, it
they
was
tag
yeah, it was the mystery tag partners that ended up. That's how Better Than You Baby was created. But I will say this.
Good time.
That, I mean, obviously there was bumps in the road. There was Keith Lee's health. There was Swerve needing to do other things. Him getting hot at the right time. But this is a great time to do a one and done match, which they have already a pre-built story for, where they could just do this match, finally get it out of the way, and after this, but I mean, I don't see this. I see this finally being, we're finally going to get this match done, and we're going to move right on after it. I don't see any story coming on afterwards.
Keith Lee can finally get back on track to doing something else.
Yeah, it's like, obviously Keith Lee should not be winning that match. I mean, Swerve is way too hot right now. This guy's being prepped for a world title challenge.
Dude walked out with the fucking Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, even though he's a Rams fan,
Your buddy's in the chat, Mike.
I mean, even though he's a
What up,
Rams
Tom?
fan,
I was just about to make a comment. I was just
because that's where he got the Who's House from. If you didn't know that, that's the
Mhm.
Rams thing too. But anyway, after this we had Renee on the fucking stage, and she brought out Mariah May, who she wants to interview. Here comes Mariah May. Which, before we even start about this promo, I just want to say, I don't know what the fuck Mikey Ruckus is on, but I don't understand. This is not a complaint at all. This is not a complaint. As far as I'm concerned, this is actually, I very much like this. But every woman in the company that has worked in Japan, besides like Tony, has Tekken music. Mariah is another victim of having a Tekken music entrance theme. Jamie has one. Yuka has one.
I think
Fucking
I think
Riho
part of
has
it-
one.
I think part of it goes into them liking the video game, because I found out like this past week that Mariah May is a gamer, so it could just be the fact that they
Well,
like
she
the
used to be a
game.
Twitch streamer.
So there you go. It could just be the
I
fact
mean,
of which that they
I
like
mean,
the
it's
game.
that. I mean, I don't. Well, it's just Tekken. This is Tekken music to a T.
Tekken's not a bad game.
It's not.
I fucking love Tekken.
I don't. Well, I wouldn't say I love Tekken. I like watching Tekken more than I like playing it.
That's
But,
fair. I only do treasure battles in
I'm
Tekken.
Tekken was the only fighting game that never really clicked with me. But anyway,
I used to have a Tekken game on PS2, and then several years back, I accidentally sat on the disc and split it in half. So that
Dumbass.
happened.
Dumbass.
Yeah,
Dumbass.
yeah.
Dumbass hole.
The fuck is your ass made out of? Like diamond?
Well-
Cracked a disc in half? I've sat on discs before, and my fat ass has never cracked them in half.
Well, I guarantee you, if it would have been on a solid floor, it wouldn't have cracked in half. But it was probably on a soft surface or leaning up against something on an angle, and I probably came down on it that way.
Dumbass.
But anyway, Mariah May, she gets on the mic. She talks about how she's finally going to make her debut next week, which she said because she didn't really feel the vibes of 2023, which she's full of shit because number one, it was her breakout year in the business, and she had probably one of the best foreign runs in Stardom
Also,
that has ever happened.
Speaking of breakout stars, congratulations to Julia Hart for getting that award. She got breakout female star. Congrats to her.
Oh, are we doing a
No,
No, not tonight, obviously.
Well, no, I'm not saying like no, not.
No, we're not doing that.
Not
We'll do it
this
after.
year.
We'll do it not next week. No, we'll do it the week after. We can do it the week after.
Yeah, we'll set up another. I'll do just a straight video of it. We'll talk about our picks.
Anyway,
I was just curious.
Anyway,
All good, man.
yeah. So she talks about how why she attacked Riho. She did it for Tony, obviously, and then here comes Riho. Riho
Ratings Riho.
She fucking comes chasing her down. They start fighting within the ring. Tony comes out to save Mariah, and then she ends up getting beaten down, and then they scurry off. She's screaming, "How dare you!
How dare you!"
But yeah, it was pretty good. After this, we had I believe the Top Flight
yeah.
and Action Andretti. They put out a challenge, and before they could even challenge somebody, Orange like, "All right, I see what you're doing here. All right, I'll see you Friday." And,
no,
so
we'll see you Friday.
I loved Trent in this one too, because just like, really, you're just gonna make a challenge and we're 5 feet away, really?
Yeah. So you got Trent, Rocky, and Orange versus Top Flight and Action Andretti on Rampage. Reason for Chuck. Chuck is actually injured right now.
Mhm.
That's why he's been gone for a little bit. So, we will send to him. But anyway,
Rocky was even like, yeah, he did this to me last week too. So
He's a
see
little
you
bit.
Friday.
He's a little bit crazy today. Don't worry about it.
yeah. But anyway, after this, we had
They
the vignette.
Well, they cut to Christian, Nick Wayne, Shayna Wayne, and Lexi in the back for something that they would do multiple times on the show, and we'll get back to that.
This is
After
fucking
that
out of pocket.
was
This Stokely tweet. I'm gonna send it in the group chat.
Oh boy! After that,
Fucking-
we had the Miro vignette.
Oh, that's right. Yes. So the Miro vignette. It's just him talking about how like, hey, like Andrade, like it was talking about his wife, CJ Perry, and then talking about Andrade saying, I just want to fight you because you're an asshole. Simple as that.
Yeah, and I expected
Good reason
this.
to fight someone.
I mean, I expected this. I mean, get well soon to CJ. If you looked at her fucking Instagram or Twitter in the past 2
she
weeks,
blew up her finger.
Oh, I forgot about that.
she
What
got
the
a
hell
bad
happened?
infection from a splinter, and
Ooh.
it made her fucking middle finger black, and she had to get surgery, emergency surgery, because it went up her arm. If you look at the aftermath pictures on Instagram of it, because she has to have one of those healing where you actually have to have she actually has to have an open wound, for it to heal. So she's literally if she took a picture of her middle finger, it's literally if fucking you took a knife and you just hacked her fucking middle finger 3 times, that's what it looks like. It's fucking gross, but I'm a sick fuck, so I like looking at that type of shit. So if you look at it it's on her Instagram. It's crazy how blown up her middle finger is because it's very swollen.
Shit!
Yeah. So it's an open wound. It's fucking gross, but it's crazy to look at. Um, but
Definitely
yeah,
is.
that's why she hasn't been around to manage Andrade. I don't know. I doubt she'll be there on the pay-per-view. Uh, but anyway, uh, yeah, very excited to see Andrade versus Miro. I haven't seen Andrade yet, so live that is. So very excited for that match, and I think that's a sleeper. Uh, that's like a sleeper match of the night contender right there. I think those guys are gonna kill it. I'm not really sure if they've wrestled before. I don't know if they did in WWE or not. Um, but yeah, very excited for this one.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a very fun match.
Yeah. After this, we had fucking Shivani. This, this fucking this absolute fucking renegade, fucking Shivani
Love
out
this guy.
here saying I saw the easels. I'm like, all right, here comes Don.
It was announced on Twitter like maybe like 10 minutes before the show.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Um, but yeah, here comes Don. And this fucking guy. I mean, he's out there with Hobbs, Kyle Fletcher, and Takeshita, and he shows them the easels because he got him a present for Boxing Day in Canada.
Tony
Boxing Week.
Schiavone got cut off mid sentence too. He's like,
Yeah, well,
come on, man.
I fucking laughed so hard at that.
I mean, you should expect it at this point.
Okay, so I have like just the gripe about this segment is the end bit that we will get to.
But yeah, here we have fucking he unveils the first painting, and it's Takeshita. It's Hobbs and Callis.
West Side.
Hobbs and Callis like in front of a club.
He's doing
With
this.
Takeshita and with fucking Callis giving one of these. But yeah, it looked like some shit out of Grand Theft Auto. It was really funny. He does the next one where it's Takeshita and the Callis, where
Yakuza
Takeshita
style.
has a sword. He's got like a Yakuza tattoos all over himself. Then there's one in him and Kyle punching out kangaroos with boxing gloves on, and
there's
that
one
was
more.
really funny.
And then
and there was one more that was not open, but before he could even get to it,
Sammy Guevara.
here comes Sammy Guevara. And as soon as I saw it and I realized they were in Orlando, I'm like, okay, here comes Sammy. Because Sammy obviously is cleared from his concussion. He's should be finished with well, not he should be. He is finished with maternity leave. He had the kid.
So I get it. Yes, like absent makes the heart grow fonder, and it's gonna be a lot harder to make him a heel now that he's a dad.
Before we get all that, let's talk about the segment. Well, he was wearing his inner circle vest, which he really didn't wear when he was with Don. He was wearing actually like nice dress suits and shit. Not suits, but like he was nicely dressed when he was with Callis and them. But he came up and he said, Don, he was about to say Don was about to say something. He put the mic down. And that's how and we already knew at that point that this was gonna get hostile. But he was talking about how he was never called. He never heard from Callis after he got his concussion. But Callis is like, listen, let me look. I got you a present. So he unveils the picture. It's because he's been carrying it around for so long. It's Takeshita, Hobbs, Kyle, Sammy, and Callis, and Sammy's baby girl Luna in his hands, and then we're all looking at it, and then Callis is like, look, dude, it's her real family or something like that. It's her family, and Sammy was pissed off. He's like, who the hell told you to put my baby on your picture? And Callis was trying to be like, all right, listen, you're a disappointment. You got hurt. It was a disappointment. You shouldn't even be a parent. You're gonna be a disappointment as a wrestler and a disappointment as a father. So that really set this fucking guy off. He pushed him to the ground. Takeshita, Kyle, and Hobbs started jumping him. But as he's getting jumped, here comes Jericho to the rescue with Floyd the Bat. He starts smashing up the pictures, and he lets Sammy smash the last one. As they're getting jumped, here comes Big Bill and Ricky Starks to beat the shit out of both of these two. But then the lights go out, and here comes Sting and Darby Allin to make the save, and that's how we went off with the face-off. I mean, it's already been confirmed that we have an 8-man tag at World's End now between the Don Callis family, and which is going to be Starks, Bill, Kyle, and I think Hobbs.
Yes, yeah.
I know
Yeah.
Kyle's in it. Versus Sting, Darby, Jericho, and Sammy.
So
But
this is how they rework the tag title match.
yeah, so my thing about this is, obviously they had to improvise something because Kenny went down, and I mean I can't really put that on them.
And then Kota had to return to Japan.
I mean, I don't know what Ibushi's thing is. I know he still has the complications with the shoulder. I don't know if he has to go back to Japan or not because he does have a school down there now.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of shit out of their control in this. And those guys like Ibushi and Kenny, but they hugged in the ring, Sammy and Jericho. He turned on Jericho at Arthur Ashe to join Don Callis, but obviously they had to reroute things.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle Fletcher kind of took Sammy's spot in the Don Callis family, just being like the young gun, young upside guy.
Yeah.
But
see, but
yeah,
I think all of us do agree though.
I'm not really. Yeah, but I say I'm not really a big of a fan of him sticking him right back with Jericho.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it if they're doing this and says, all right, listen, I gotta go do my own thing now. Like, this was just a thing for, all right, shit, we have to fucking improvise here. Let's just do this, and then I'm gonna go on my own. And with babyface Sammy and shit like that.
Because like I personally do not like babyface Sammy. I'm more of a fan of a heel Sammy Guevara, because a heel Sammy Guevara is a lot easier to kind of like boo for and
yeah, I agree, but I actually am fine with them going back to babyface Sammy just because the roster right now
is heel dominant,
loaded with heels. Like
Okay.
it's come to the point where there's not really much room for him as a heel because
fair.
Sammy's not going to be a priority over Samoa Joe, fucking Christian Cage,
The Devil,
Swerve, Jack Perry, Jay White, the House of Black, even like fucking even the Don Callis family, Ricky Starks, Nick Wayne to an extent, Osprey when he comes in if he's a heel, Miro somewhat.
He's gonna be a heel, but he's definitely gonna be like have face vibes.
Yeah, but just there's not enough. I feel like he there's no room for him as a heel at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, fair enough.
That's why I'm fine with him. I'm fine with the fact that he's going back to being a babyface, but I think he shouldn't be around Jericho as much as he should after this. If they're just doing this match to do this because of Kenny got hurt, and then they do whatever with Jericho and Sammy after that, then I'm fine with it. But they don't need to be around each other long term. They could still be friends, obviously. They could still be like they could still like do shit every now and then.
Yeah.
But they don't need to be tied to the hip like they have been.
Hear me out on this bit for Sammy. Like, have him be a tweener. Like, don't have him go full-fledged babyface. Have him still have heel tendencies. Like, have him cheat to win sometimes and stuff like that. Like, I said, I want as like a face Sammy is fun, but a heel Sammy is a lot easier for me to enjoy.
Well, he could. I mean, they could do something where it's like Brian's a baby. Brian's a baby face. Like Brian's a baby face. Like Brian's a baby face. MJF's a baby face. Fucking. Who else is a good example? Mox is a baby face, but they wrestle like heels.
Mm-hmm.
Like those guys wrestle like heels, so he could do that. Like if he wants to wrestle like a shithead, then that's fine. And him still be a baby face. Same thing kind of with Roosh, even though he's a heel. He like people like cheer for Roosh, but he's a fucking dick. So he wrestles like an asshole. So That's what they should do there. But I'm gonna like the jury's out on this because I'm waiting to talk. I'm waiting to make a judgment on this until after the pay-per-view because they had to do a lot of rerouting and improvising
Do you think they
due to Kenny's injury.
did they have to pull Darby back from training for his climb early?
No, because Darby already was home.
Well, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know how long training takes for that. That's why.
Well, no, yeah. He trained. He's already been back because
Okay.
he's not climbing until April. And they don't want. And I was actually expected him to be back sooner rather than later because this would be Sting's last pay-per-view before his last pay-per-view. So I doubted that. I was very like it was
Which might sell
weird
more
to me
tickets now.
well, yeah, it was weird to me that Sting wasn't on the show yet because I'm like, there's no way they're not gonna have Sting on the show one pay-per-view before he's set to have his final match. But now we know he's on the show. It's a fucking privilege to see Sting as many times as I did on the way out. But yeah, it's a good spot for him. So might as well.
All right. After this, did we go backstage with Renee and Roddy?
Yes, we did.
I'm double checking with the sources of Mike. He gave us the okay. Okay, so next up we have a backstage segment with Renee. And
Dude, he did. I just want to say this first. He got on Cameo, Roddy.
no.
And I looked at some of his like demos or like the
He
previews
screams
that he can
names.
do. John. Hey, dude. Your friends wanted me to tell you happy birthday. I'm like, dude, that is so smart. That is so smart. Like, he should have been on that shit fucking months ago. I would
God.
see like me. I would have him say like my friend's gamer tag, or some shit like that.
Noob Master 69.
But I can't. I don't. I think I would get a subpoena if I had him do that. But anyway,
He pulls out the Pepe Sylvia Always Sunny in Philadelphia fucking corkboard of a red string. He's saying, "Hey man, not the devil. This guy, not the devil. Swerve, not the devil. But do you want to know who is the devil? MJF is the devil." Just like, what the fuck, dude?
yeah.
This is all you want to say?
It's fucking. The guy's trying to fucking. I mean, it'd be funny if MJF was and he was right all along. Nobody listened to Rod, and then he went on this whole campaign. Nobody listens to me.
He handed out signs last week. That was pretty. Like, I fucking
he
love
posted
that.
tape the fucking signs. MJF is the devil. I just want to know what he's gonna do when he's not the devil.
Apologize profusely.
No, he should just act distraught and just be like, I thought it was him. I spent months
Calls up Adam.
thinking it was him.
Adam, I'm sorry.
Adam,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Adam.
Anyway, after this, we had, which this surprised the hell out of me that this was not the main event, but we had Bryan Danielson versus Eddie Kingston for the finals of the Blue League of the Continental Classic, and this was an excellent match. A lot of story going into it, obviously, because they wrestled already once, and Bryan defeated Kingston and held up the sign that Eddie's a bum after the match. But this match was extreme. It was basically a tale of two matches when it came to this and the first opener, where that was a lot more action-oriented and fast-paced, but this was a slower, more methodical, technical match based off a storytelling standpoint, which I thought this was excellent. Kingston and Bryan tore it up here. Just great stuff. I mean, it was Bryan was basically playing the bully, yelling "You're a bum," starting a "You're a bum" chant, just kicking Kingston when he was down, just spitting. He was spitting in Kingston's face. Kingston kept flipping him off. But yeah, this was excellent. Bryan played heel perfectly. He was getting booed in this match. Great stuff here from these two. The finish came down to, there was a great near fall where Bryan hit the Basaiku knee and Eddie kicked out of it. But Eddie ended up hitting him with 3 Oricans and a Northern Lights bomb and then a power bomb to pick up the victory over Bryan Danielson. He finally has defeated Bryan Danielson. to win the Blue League, and he will be going to the Continental Classic Finals.
I know Brian is a professional, but I felt like he made Eddie work for that power bomb. Cause he didn't get him up the first time, then he picked him up again. It felt like he made Eddie work for that power bomb. Which is another good bit of storytelling. The reason why I had a reaction, which is I'll get to it for the main event, because I had a reaction to a tweet that makes a very good point to something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but after this, Moxley came to the
on purpose or not. It was actually, I feel like it fit the match.
Oh yeah, it did. Because if you're gonna beat me, you're gonna have to beat me for it.
Yeah.
Moxley came out after the match.
This promo
and confronted Kingston. I mean, I was very excited when he had a mic in his hand, because the last time they were, the first time back at the Full Gear in 2021, where, or is it? Yeah, it was 2021. Where they had that promo when he was talking about Eddie's mother, and that promo battle is one of the best AEW's ever did. But anyway, this promo here was excellent. Mox basically got in Eddie's face and said, "Listen, I want you to bring your best at World's End. You want to be a Triple Crown champion like all your heroes. Well, I let you like have some back then. I let you."
It was 2020.
Yeah, it was 2020. Okay. But I let you. I gave you courage. I gave you that drive back in the time, but I'm not doing that anymore. You're gonna need your best to beat me, at World's End. And Kingston took the mic. He said, "I'm not your young boy bitch like Yuta. I'm not him. So get out of my face." He says, "Listen, I'm gonna be." I mean, he's just stating his case. He's wants to beat Moxley. He's going to do it. He said he's the king of the bums. I just thought I'm about to say that's a T-shirt. The king of the bums. But anyway,
so there's a thing to mention. So we brought up like the Full Gear, or it was the Full Gear match, right? Or was it the promo that they had where Eddie lost to the Bulldog choke with the barbed wire?
Yeah.
Because that was in front of literally no one, because they didn't allow fans in at the time. It was in front of the extras and Austin and Colton Gunn. So think about going from where they were in 2020 to now about close to 9,000 strong in Nassau Coliseum. It's going to be a crazy time at that show.
It's going to be a great final.
That I have a feeling that might be match of the year. Well, match of the night. Match of the night, I should say.
Let's fucking pipe down.
Listen, ESPN tied both Kenny and Will Ospreay matches for best of the year.
I just say no shit.
I don't blame them one bit.
Yeah, because there is.
I flubbed my words, but like I have a feeling that's gonna be match of the night. I have a feeling.
Maybe.
Next up after this, we had the.
So this is what I mentioned earlier. They cut back to Christian and crew in the back just to go back to commercial again, just to come back from commercial. Then they finally have Adam Copeland attack Christian.
Yeah, so here comes Adam Copeland. He's in the back. He's getting fucking attacked by Christian. And they're starting to...
This is Mother Wayne and the prodigy Nick Wayne.
So they ended up having a pull apart. And they really wanted to...
This was a funny pull apart.
Yeah, so they were fighting all the way into the hallway. They started pulling... the wrestlers came back from the locker room, started pulling apart. The assortment of wrestlers here were funny as shit.
Tony Nese.
It was Top Flight, Tony Nese, Action Andretti, the Von Erichs.
Serpentico.
Serpentico, Brian Keith. Fucking, he was there. But I do want to say this, actually, just speaking of the Von Erichs, that movie was excellent. The Iron Claw, if you are a wrestling fan, or even if you're not a wrestling fan, it's a very well worth the watch. It's a very, very good movie.
It's good, but the guy who played Ric Flair sucked.
Yeah, but I hate that that's the thing coming out of this movie, because literally that was about 50 seconds worth of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was really it. But
need
the
to see
movie,
this
the movie was excellent. They even said it wasn't going to be completely historically accurate because it wasn't. I mean, they left out an entire Von Erich brother, um, Chris Von Erich, that he was completely left out, and some of the stuff like how events played out were not the same. But they said that before the movie came out that it wasn't going to be completely historically
Yeah.
accurate. But as a movie, if you don't know their story, and you can't really pick up on those things, then it's an excellent movie, and I just thought it was great.
I have not seen it yet.
Ryan Nemeth did have more speaking lines than MJF because MJF had 0 and Ryan had about maybe 4 or 5. Yeah, it was
There's-
pretty cool seeing Ryan and
Oh,
fucking
I'd be
MJF on the
ripping
big screen.
MJF so much if I was him.
Well, he did shoot scenes, but it just got the Lance Von Erich stuff got cut.
It'll
he
be
did
on the
get an
DVD extras.
He did get an executive producer credit though at the end of the movie, and it was just his name on the screen. I took a picture of it. It was cool.
There's one thing I don't like that came out of this movie is that the fact that now everyone wants A24 to produce a wrestling biopic, whether it's Eddie Guerrero, fucking Chris Benoit. It's just guys,
I don't know.
hop off the fucking nuts for a moment and just let A24 do what A24 does.
Yeah, let this
Well,
movie
I don't
breathe.
really. I mean, I don't really see that as a bad thing. They made a great movie, and if they want to do more,
but it's like everyone's now like, oh, I want to see this guy get made into a biopic now. I want to see that guy get made into a biopic.
that's just the that's just the nature of what happens.
No, but it's like half of these fucking wrestlers that they want have the fucking Dark Side of the Rings, which is going to tell a better story.
Well, that's the thing about Dark Side of the Ring, because when you watch a Dark Side of the Ring, what do you think of? I would love them. I would love them to see this guy get a Dark Side of the Ring on it. It's just the nature. Just people. People want to see the good shit. I think that's the ultimate compliment. If you make good shit and people want to see you make more good shit about the good shit that you like, I don't really see a problem with that.
But like the two people that, like one Eddie, fantastic wrestler, I can see a biopic being made, but fucking Benoit, everyone knows how the story is going to end.
Well, they don't need to do that.
Exactly. The Benoit one is the worst fucking.
If people want it, they're not gonna get a movie out of that because it's fucking. I mean, there's nothing to make a movie about because he had a career.
They would have to skip the entire part.
Well, no, they wouldn't. No, that would be the entire movie because there is no movie. Number one is because Chris Benoit had an entire career, successful career, then that happened. That was it. In the public eye, Chris Benoit was just another wrestler. And then that happened. There's no movie to be made. There's Benoit wrestling, Eddie's death, him spiraling out of control, then the tragedy. That's it. But that's not a movie. That's a documentary. And you already got a damn good one.
Mm-hmm.
It's already there. I'm not.
That was a good one to blend with the Eddie stuff too.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say that doesn't need to be made into a movie. I'm not gonna sit here and speculate on what they should do for a movie, but there's a lot of more niche shit that would probably be better off.
I think a Bruno
as
one
a movie
would be great. A Bruno Sammartino biopic would be fun.
I mean, fucking
Andre the Giant.
I mean, stuff like that. I mean, you could obviously do stuff like Kurt Angle. I think that is something that they can explore because of what he did in his life.
Hell, even Mick Foley, for Christ's sakes. I could see one.
I mean, they could do... I mean, I'll tell you one person who would be a great biopic, just to how crazy his life was. Antonio Inoki. I mean, that guy went from wrestler to fucking politician to fucking world peace advocate, came to the point where he's fucking doing peace festivals in North Korea. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But anyway, yeah, it's not like A24 is a movie studio. It's not it's not Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
But if people want to see more wrestling movies, then I don't see that as a bad thing.
It gets people to respect the sport more.
Yeah, and you just can't. You have to pick your spots wisely, and that's really all there is.
Also, per word, because I've seen a lot of the press junkets for this movie, that ring they used is a real wrestling ring. That is.
Oh, absolutely.
The-
Chavo. I mean, Chavo was in the movie too. He played the Sheik. He even wrestled in the first wrestling match in the movie. But Chavo trained Zac Efron and the guy who
Jeremy,
played Kerry and David.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, but
I
he
know.
trained all.
I only know the one who played Carrie. I don't know
Yeah,
his name.
Yeah, everybody who wrestled in the movie was either an actor, like the big league actors, like the guy who played Kerry and David and Zac Efron. But they were trained by Chavo, and the rest of the guys who the guys who played the Freebirds are indie guys. Were indie
Yeah,
wrestlers.
the actual stuff they went through. They went to wrestling school for this movie.
Yeah, I mean, and
they have a respect for the sport now too. They're
Yeah,
like, I thought this shit was easy. Nope.
Zac Efron said him and the guy who played Kerry said I'd be open to doing a match, which I wouldn't actually be surprised if they actually ended up doing that.
AEW is gonna get on that. We know it. All right. So now we have the women's match, right? The Sky Blue and Chris Statlander. So I tuned out for a moment, and then I realized that Stokely was on commentary, and I'm like, oh my god, no.
He called Tony Schiavone a chatty patty ass boy, and that was very amusing.
The best line was when he said, he says, look at Chris Statler in that ring. You know, my cousin Leon, he works at AutoZone, and he broke his ankle. He's been out for 5 years. He's still getting a check. She got 2 blown ACLs, and she's in the ring in less than 2 years. That's why I want to manage her.
Did you
so
see
I'm
the
gonna
tweet
go find
that
Leon.
I shared
I'm
in the
gonna
group
go
chat?
I'm gonna go find Leon at a fucking Harlem AutoZone.
Go to hell.
And try to ask him about this situation.
So, like, to be honest, like, so this hunt for Stokely to go after Statlander happened on Rampage. He was like, Kristen, let me help you. And she kind of blew him off, and I think she told him, like, to just fuck off, and he kind of went away. And he goes, like, she's like, Kristen's not even my name.
Oh, that's so good. That is so good.
It's like, but god damn it. So then he also, like, him and Taz had a good back and forth. We're not really friends, but, like, okay, like, hey Taz, who gave you a $5 Starbucks gift card? And a bottle of tequila. True. Okay. So
anyway,
this match was really this match was
a very good match. And I really like what Sky Blue is doing now.
Soon to be Sky
she had
Black.
a great. I mean, she looked great in the match with Thunder Rosa and Abaddon with Julia on Collision. But yeah, she was very good in this match. Obviously, Statlander is one of the best. But yeah, and it got pointed out that Statlander hadn't been pinned for 19 months. That was the last time she was pinned. But she was pinned tonight. Sky Blue hit the Code Blue
super
from the
Code
top
Blue
rope, from the top rope after Statlander got hit in the head with the TBS championship,
which was a very scary spot, by the
Hart.
way, because I think Sky Blue almost hit her head. Like, it was like inches away.
But yeah, she ends up picking up the victory here over Chris Statlander, first woman to pin her in 19 months. And after the match, Julia came out, started beating down Statlander, and here comes Willow to make the save. Abaddon cuts them off at the top of the fucking stage because Julie's gonna be wrestling her at the pay-per-view. But this is just continues the story with Statlander trying to Stokely trying to manage Statlander and pull her away from Willow, and a loss finally helps that. So I expect to see Statlander continue to lose, and probably be more enamored with the fact of Stokely managing her.
I fucking need Stokely to become her manager, and when she messes up one time, he has to go to the back of her head just to get payback.
Yeah, but she's
just
not
to get
bald.
payback.
Why are you bald?
What type of question is that? Why you
I'll never
bald?
forget that.
Why you ugly?
That was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. fucking Ricochet on a guy in his car on Instagram Live. Why you bald?
What question is that? Why you
Great
ugly?
It was a great fucking listen. That was a great fucking listen. It was a valid question.
True. All right.
Valid
So
question. Why you
after
bald?
this is now. Oh no, do the rundown because we have World's End card and Rampage card.
Yeah, so Rampage, we're gonna have Orange, Trent, and Rocky versus Top Flight and Andretti. We're gonna hear from Jericho. We're going to have
Wheeler Yuta versus Matt Sydal for
yeah.
the Ring of Honor Pure Championship.
That's gonna be a fun
That
match.
should be a pretty good match.
That should
Yeah.
be pretty good too. Yeah. And we should have what was the other one?
Um,
I think that was all they announced.
Might
for
have been.
Rampage.
Oh no, Ruby Soho, versus somebody.
Forgot.
Oh, yeah.
And Harley
Dating
Cameron now
for-
has a knife.
Oh yeah, so yeah, they can't cut to the back because of the but yeah, so it's Ruby. Ruby's gonna wrestle on Rampage. Yeah, she said, "Listen, I got you her friend." Cause she doesn't want her to be with fucking what's his name?
T.D. Marshall, who's now gone.
No, Angelo.
Oh.
She wasn't.
Zach,
wanting to
speaking
be
of
with
the knife thing, just here's a pic of what my friend texted me. I think you'll enjoy that.
Oh my god.
I sent it in the group chat.
What the fuck, man?
I do want to say, but yeah. So
I
Harley
hate
Cameron had
you.
a knife,
Fucking
because she's done with the QT Marshall stuff because obviously QT's gone in like a week, not even. But yeah, so that's just continuing on that. So I forgot to mention this, but at the start of the show, because he's been working for them as a producer, and a coach, I believe, for a couple months now. But Scotty 2 Hotty had a match,
and they got his
the
theme.
dark match, yeah. Because I think that theme song was actually like MJF and Willow's, where it's like it's a stock song that just no one ever bought.
Speaking of
Hardys,
MJF's
too.
theme, I was watching a Spider-Man 2 video, and MJF's theme was playing in the background of it, and I was losing my shit. I'm like, why? No.
That's great.
Because it was playing so softly. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Ah, fuck. But so okay, yeah.
Yeah, so after this, we had the pay-per-view rundown as it stands. There will be more matches added. That's usually how it goes. They usually announce a couple more on Rampage and then the day before. There will be no Collision, obviously. Holy shit. The Slim Jim, the WWE Slim Jim car that was at Survivor Series has been found. That was stolen, has been found outside Chicago. Go figure. Chicago, the most lawless
CM Punk
place.
stole it. Got it.
Chicago, the most lawful place in the world. But anyway,
They bring him back just to steal a Slim Jim car. That's great.
Some jit definitely saw that stuff and fucking just started taking it. But anyway, but yeah, we had the pay-per-view rundown, and so far, I mean, obviously this is gonna change, but so far it's a very, very good card. And most of it has been filled out. But just getting it up here. First off, we have MJF versus Samoa Joe, obviously for the title. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. And then on 0 Hour, we have a 20-man battle royal for a TNT title shot.
20-man battle royal. So expect some. Well, because we forgot to mention this, the people who have been released from WWE are now lifted of their no compete clause. So expect someone.
And it says for a TNT title shot anytime, anywhere. So what that sounds like to me is like a cash-in type of thing. So if Christian,
Mammoth, baby.
if Christian, say if like I could see something like maybe like Christian gets his ass handed to him by Copeland at the pay-per-view, and after the
or
match
vice
ends,
versa.
this person cashes in. Yeah. But anyway, 20-man battle royal. We have Wheeler Yuta versus Hook for the FTW Championship.
FTW
rules
hardcore match.
On the 0 Hour. We have Abaddon versus Julia Hart, TBS title. Riho, Tony Storm, women's title. Swerve and Keith Lee, Andrade and Miro, Edge and Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, no DQ.
Freudian
Mox,
slip.
yeah.
Moxley and Kingston for the Continental Classic Final. The 8-man tag team match between the Don Callis family, Starks and Big Bill, and Sting, Darby, Jericho, and Sammy. And I think that's it. So far.
Yeah, as of right now, that's it.
Yeah. So there
I
will be
have a
more
feeling
added, probably
we might get the.
I have a feeling they're gonna add a match.
Yeah, I think
they're gonna add a couple.
I think the match, one match is going to be added is going to be FTR and the Briscoe and Mark versus House Black. I think that's going to happen.
That would make sense. That would make sense.
Well, yeah, probably House of Black and House of Black and FTR definitely.
I think Mark Briscoe's going to get involved with that one.
Probably main card, right?
Probably main card, but I'm trying to think. Wasn't it not Mark Briscoe on Collision with them?
I have not
it was
watched.
It would be no. That's what it would be. It would be Garcia and FTR versus the House of Black.
Okay.
Because Garcia got jumped by them after and they saved him.
Okay.
So yeah, it's probably either that or just Buddy and Malachi versus FTR. Because that's kind of what was being teased anyway when Brody was.
I would not mind that match would go fucking crazy.
So yeah, I could see that being added. I could see maybe trying to think. Probably a trios title match. Like maybe like an open challenge, something like that. Claudio versus somebody maybe. Yeah, I don't really know. We'll see. As there's not really anything obvious yet. Besides what we talked about. But anyway, that brings us to the main event.
It's time. For the main event,
which was barely a main event.
Yeah, because it went on at like 9:50.
The match started. The match started.
Oh, no, the match started at like 10:01.
Yeah. So here comes MJF. I mean, here comes the Devil's Henchman, and here comes MJF.
Everyone's chanting Wardlow in the crowd.
Yeah, but here comes MJF, and he's waiting for Samoa Joe to come out. And Samoa Joe has seemingly been attacked in the back. He's holding his knee, he's screaming. MJF's
he's doing the Peter Griffin.
Yeah. He did have green pants on. But anyway, MJF's like, nah, fuck it. I'm gonna do the match anyway. So he goes and does the match. The masked men start beating the shit out of him.
He tries to take the mask off.
He keeps taking their mask off. And he goes to the outside. Who wants to see this piece of shit's face? And then the ref ends up getting distracted. One comes from under the ring and hits MJF in the shoulder with a pipe because MJF had a shoulder brace on. They roll him in the ring. One of the guys hit one of the best heat seekers I've ever seen, which he did it better than MJF does most of the time. But this was an excellent looking heat seeker. He
just killed him.
But anyway, yeah, after that, he pins him. He puts his foot on the ropes. The other guy holds it, and they fucking walk away with the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. While trying to identify who these two men were. I mean, me and my mom were trying like my mom thought it looked like Roddy or Roddy. She's like, that's Roddy or Taven or Van. I'm like, it's not, because the two guys who wrestled were basically the exact same height.
So do you think one of them could be Kyle?
Not one of the ones who wrestled,
but like
not one of the ones who wrestled tonight. Okay. Because the two guys who wrestled tonight were not very tall, but they were taller than average.
And they know a bunch of MJF's moves too. Remember, he knew that Heat Seeker perfectly.
Yeah. I mean, that's not really a hard thing to do.
I know, but but hitting it smooth.
I've done the Heat Seeker a couple times in my day.
Okay.
Jumping off trampolines and shit.
Okay.
Wrestling with people. But anyway, so should I be the world champion? Probably. But anyway, these two guys were like decently tall. I'd say they weren't like they were just a bit taller than MJF.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't. So that's the best part about this. I can't identify these motherfuckers besides the devil himself. I'm dead set on this shit being Jack Perry. But anyway,
yeah, I'm gonna lead into a discussion about it once we talk about it. So, so the Devil's Men are attacking MJF. Samoa Joe comes out. He pretty much clears the ring. He helps MJF up. On the screen, the Devil appears. He disappears. Pleasure doing business with you. So here's the thing, and then Joe hits him with the chair.
Yeah, Joe stands back, and then the way he's standing, it was the Seth Rollins Shield stance, which I can identify that immediately. I saw him, and then he stopped fidgeting because like Joe was like fidgeting, like, but then he stopped fidgeting. He got so cold, and he just turned his head, and then he fucking hit MJF in the chair, and then
Bro,
hit him
I
with
swear
a
to
muscle
God,
buster.
I swear to God, when it said pleasure doing business with you, and it freaking cut back to Samoa Joe, I dead ass had that Leonardo DiCaprio meme moment of
whoop.
So
I actually did point at the camera. I point at the TV. I did. I look at him. Look. But anyway, he yells at Max, "I did this to you," and he hits him with a fucking vicious muscle buster. And he holds the title and he holds it up.
You're gonna hate this idea though.
Yeah, I will say this though. Joe is not the devil. That could be easily misinterpreted. They even sold it on commentary like they already knew the finish, which I definitely think they did just to make sure everybody wasn't confused. But he is not the devil. He made a deal with the devil and he's aligned with the devil.
Here's
something
and
that quells the thing that I said. Like, it wouldn't make sense that Joe's the devil because Joe could just go fuck anybody he wants up.
Oh.
But to get to a title, he's got to be more calculated. So he ends up making a deal with the devil, but we don't know who it is. Jack Perry.
So now, Christian, you got to hear this part out for this idea. Who is the one person that has been pushing MJF to align with Samoa Joe?
Roddy.
No. Adam. You got to keep that in mind, Christian. All right.
Well, I never said Adam was out of the question. I said Roddy was done.
Yeah, Roddy is done. Also, I looked into surgery for ankle surgery and double surgery. He could be out for about 12 weeks, and it's been about 4 months.
Listen, motherfucker.
With a sports-related injury like that, and it's been studied.
He's had 2
double surgery. I did the research on it. I did.
He's not a sports competitor. He's a fucking professional wrestler. It's a very different.
It's
to get back into ring shape instead of athletic shape.
No, but something like this can, depending on your recovery state, you can make it like up to 12 weeks.
Listen,
Zach, you remember a couple weeks ago when I pointed this out that I'm still holding out hope that it's Adam Cole?
Yes.
It's not.
And I basically just gave the same exact reason.
I'm not saying it can't be Adam Cole, but he's not getting physical. He's not. And if he did, that'd be a fucking embarrassment on the company's medical. Even if he's ahead of schedule, you can't do that.
Revolution.
That's still too early.
I think Revolution is a decent enough wait period.
This is a major.
I think that's a semi-realistic.
This was a major fucking injury. Major. There's no way he's going to be physical yet.
What happens if, and I'm saying this as if because pro wrestling is crazy as fuck. What happens if we've been led astray with the double surgery? What happens if?
I mean,
there is no if.
Well be
okay, Christian, you have to.
There's no fucking if, because then why is Britt Baker off television? That directly coincides with Adam Cole being hurt.
She still has another job, so she's still collecting a paycheck.
What sense does that make to keep one of your biggest stars and your hottest angle of the entire summer and probably the entire year off television? That makes no sense fucking business-wise.
Well, if she was on TV, what would she be doing right now?
It doesn't matter. It's Britt Baker. She's one of the faces of the women's division. She'd be doing something. It doesn't matter.
What happens if it's revealed to Adam Cole and he is physical on Saturday?
Then fucking find the guy.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah. Then find the fucking guy who got him right, and I don't know if he went to the same nigga Aaron Rodgers did, but find him and give him the fucking Nobel Peace Prize. Because I'm not saying it's impossible, but he should not be physical this early. It's fucking less than 3 months for that major of an injury with 2 surgeries with ligament damage. Are you out of your mind? That doesn't fucking
We
heal.
also have to keep in mind too, what happens if there's more than one devil as well?
I think I saw that, but I think that's just them using two different masks.
I'm not saying mask wise. I'm saying overall, with like, because you have the use of real glass, which once again it could be Jack Perry, it could be a red herring.
It's CM Punk.
It's CM Punk. That motherfucker returned MSG, and it's on YouTube right now for the world to see. No, let's not have those shows be
But anyway,
fucking special events on the network. But let me post
who says
anyway.
He has to get physical on Saturday.
Well, I'm not saying he has to get physical, but by the time he does, like, how is MJF not going to get to this
Revolution again?
We also don't know how well an ankle heals. That
what?
We don't know how well an injury like that heals.
3 fucking jerk offs sitting on a fucking podcast. Medical wise, they do know.
Yeah, and
they absolutely know.
And we'll find out Saturday.
Adam Cole had 2 major surgeries. 2. Less than 3 months ago. He's not coming back yet.
Sunday, March 3rd.
There's no fucking way in hell that this motherfucker is coming back after 2 major surgeries 3 months afterwards. There's no way.
There's no way. Stem cells that he can handle.
It's not stem cells. It is fucking ligament damage.
The stems will do the job. Don't worry.
His fucking ankle may never work the same again.
God, if only we can go back in time and tell him not to jump off that fucking ramp.
Oh my God.
This is listen. The ramp has done no favors for AEW. That's what started CM Punk and the foot injury. Adam Cole jumping off that.
CM Punk did that to himself by jumping into the crowd.
Well, yeah, but yeah,
and hitting his foot on the barricade that was there.
Yeah, same shit. But anyway, it's not been a good time for entrances and stages and barricades for AEW.
Saying if the possibility of it being Adam Cole on Saturday, it's gonna be fucking crazy in the barn.
I would absolutely love that.
And also, I think right now too, they are trying to sell as many tickets as possible. I am 100% in the boat that we are seeing the devil on Saturday.
Absolutely, it's called World's End.
True. I do want to think though that one of the masked men could be Jack Perry though.
He says that. I mean, he's. I don't know. He's the devil.
Well, like,
didn't I bring that up a couple weeks back too, or was that in a separate group chat?
Separate group chat. I don't remember you bringing that up.
All right, so Adam Cole.
That might have been separate.
I just looked this up too. Adam Cole. His last surgery, he had has had both of his ankle surgeries. The latest being on October 12th. So that's even less time to recover. He got a surgery on October 12th. It's December 27th today. He's
2 months. Well, that would be 8 weeks.
2 major surgeries.
October 12th, you said?
Yeah.
8 weeks.
2.5 months. About 10 weeks.
He ain't coming back. He could be a factor in this, but there's no shot he's getting physical anywhere close until late spring, early summer.
Said I put the injury at a very serious note, but also I put in the thought of, God, I would love to see Adam Cole be the fucking devil.
Same.
Because there's a lot of people who I half agree with, half disagree with, that Jack Perry would be a disappointment to be the devil, but it also would make the most sense for him to be the devil too. Like, I understand both sides of the coin on that one.
Yeah, I'm more interested in who the fuck the henchmen are. I don't really like the devil. I've been on Jack Perry for about 2 months now. Like, I'm more interested in who the fuck the henchmen are, because that's the thing I can't wrap my head around.
Like I think it's extremely likely for it to be Jack Perry, but the henchman, I just don't know who the fuck it would be.
I'm almost certain one of them, like, at least since they are since they're no longer wearing the wiener shirts, one of, like, maybe two of them, maybe it could be the Kingdom.
I
think
like...
it's too obvious. Not obvious.
It would be
like,
too obvious. I get that, but I would like
I
to
can't
think.
take them seriously. They're goofy.
Yeah.
They're too goofy for this. Like, I wouldn't be able to if they took off the mask. Oh, here's Roddy, fucking Taven, and Bennett, the three funny guys, fucking walking around with a neck brace and the wheelchair. Like, I'm not gonna. And you have Jack Perry as the leader. Nobody would take them seriously. You can't do that.
Yeah, see, but then if you take Jack Perry out of the leader position and you put Adam Cole in, it's just a revival of the Kingdom.
Yeah, no, yeah, I understand that, but I understand that too. But I still wouldn't be able to take him seriously. Because what was Adam Cole doing? Fucking around on a boat with MJF, doing the kangaroo shit, fucking shooting water guns at Charlie in the back. You have him and MJF going to the fucking Sky Zone and hitting kids with dodgeballs, and you're gonna have him be a leader of this devilish group with fucking the Kingdom, who've been the goofiest guys on television. I'm not talking about us because obviously we're hardcore fans and we know what these guys do.
Yeah.
But the basic fan base would not be able to take them seriously.
I get
because
that.
of what has been presented to them on television.
But also, I think we still have to keep in the fact of which that, and back to the thing that started this. Adam Cole was the guy that pushed for MJF to side with Samoa Joe. That's something that we have to really keep in mind. That's something that we can't really just ignore and be like, oh,
I like the fact that you picked up on that.
Yeah, about to say, I think
that's thanks to someone on Twitter, Drainmaker.
I will say this. That's the best piece of evidence for Adam Cole. That is the best piece of evidence that's ever been presented for him.
Especially with today.
That's the best piece of evidence.
That's the pleasure doing business with you. That could have been a line to Joe, like, hey, thanks.
All I'm saying is I brought this up weeks ago about how
that's because that's because of the glass situation. And they were drilling that home. They were really drilling that. So you got to give the benefit of the doubt on that one.
We'll see. Hey, we'll be there for it.
There's definitely been two major glass spots, but the one consistent theme is I always keep going back to this from the very beginning, where what was it, the first time that Cole and MJF got in the car together? It's just like it's, I don't know. You can't fully eliminate him.
It's yeah. All right, guys. We're gonna round out the night here.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
And if
Saturday.
And if it's not up to our standard, then I'll go down to that ring and I might have to step in.
You are close enough. So
I'm the devil. You heard it here first.
Buy your tickets to that show. Let's sell out Nassau Coliseum.
I work for the company, brother. I'm a paid shill.
Let's according to the internet, we are paid shills. Yeah, sure. All right, guys. We appreciate you all for watching. We will catch you guys next week for the first injection of the new year, first Dynamite of the new year, and yeah. Peace.
Looking forward to it.
Out.